Have you ever had that feeling where your data seems to be split into a bunch of different places? Well, SQL joins are basically the magic trick that brings all those pieces together. So let's dive in and make sense of one of the most powerful tools in SQL. And don't worry, we're going to do it in the simplest way possible.
Okay, so just imagine this for a second. You've got a list of students over here and a list of the courses they're taking over there. They're connected for sure, but they're in separate tables. So the huge question is, how do you actually combine them to see the full picture? Who is taking what? That's the exact problem we're going to solve today. And here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to meet the join and figure out what it's all about. Then we'll get into the main types you'll be using pretty much all the time. After that, we'll cover some super important rules to avoid common mistakes. And finally, we'll see how this stuff is actually used out in the real world. Let's get to it. All right, first things first, let's get properly introduced to the join. I know, the name can sound a little technical, but trust me, you should think of it less like some complicated command and more like your data's new best friend. Really, at its heart, a join is just the command you use to stitch data together from different tables. The secret sauce is that it works by finding a column that both tables have in common. That one piece of shared info that acts like a bridge between them. So to make this super clear, we're going to use two really simple tables. Here's our first one. We'll call it students. It's pretty straightforward, right? We've got a unique ID for each student and then their name. So we have Rahul, Amit, and Neha. Easy enough. And here's table number 2, courses. Now, pay close attention to that student ID column. See how that number is meant to connect back to the ID in our students table? That right there, that's the link. That's the common ground our joins are going to use to work their magic. Okay, now that we have our tables ready, let's get down to the main event. We're going to focus on the 3 big ones, the most fundamental types of joins you need to know: inner, left, and right. First up is the inner join. Honestly, this is your workhorse. It's the one you're probably going to use 90% of the time. Think of it like finding the perfect overlap, the intersection between your 2 sets of data. It will only give you results that have a match in both tables. No match, no entry. And boom, here's the result. We see Rahul is taking AWS and Amit is taking Linux. Perfect. But who's missing? Neha's not here because she doesn't have a course listed in that second table. And that DevOps course, it's gone too, because no student in our first table is signed up for it. Only the perfect matches made it. Look, if you remember just one thing about inner join, make it this. It's so simple. Give me only the common data from both tables. That's it. That is its entire mission in life. Okay, on to our next type. What if you wanted to see all of your students, even if they haven't signed up for a course yet? Well, that's exactly where a left join comes in. It says, hey, I'm going to keep everything from that first table, the left one, and I'll just pull in matches from the right table where I can find them. Now check out this output. Rahul and Amit are still here with their courses. No surprise there. But look, Neha is back on the list. Now, since she didn't have a matching course over in the right table, the value for her course is just null, which basically means empty. The key is we kept everyone from the left. And here's the super simple way to lock this in your brain. A left join is just saying, give me absolutely everything from the left table and throw in the matching stuff from the right. So, as you've probably already guessed, the right join is just the mirror image of the left join. This time, we're basically saying that the second table, the right one, is the most important. We want every single record from that table, no matter what. So take a look at this. Rahul and Amit are here, they have matches. But now, that DevOps course is on our list. And since no student from our left table is taking it, the student name is just null. See? We kept every single course from the right table, guaranteed. And the motto here is just as easy. Give me everything from the right table and add the matching stuff from the left. Seriously, if you understand left join, you already get how right join works. It's just the flip side. Now, knowing what the join types do is half the battle. But writing them so they actually work, that's the other half. So let's cover a couple of practical must-know rules to keep you out of trouble. Okay, this is probably the single most important part of any join, the on condition. This is the instruction. This is you telling the database exactly how these 2 tables are supposed to be connected. It's the bridge you're building between the student's ID and the course's student ID. You can't skip it.
And this slide right here shows you why it's so critical. On the left, you've got the correct query with that on clause creating that beautiful logical link. But on the right, that's a classic mistake, forgetting the on clause completely. And this doesn't just error out. Oh no, it does something way worse. It gives you a massive, totally wrong result by matching every single student with every single course. You have to avoid this. And hey, here's a quick pro tip for you that's going to make your life so much easier and your code look way better. Always use table aliases. Just shorten students to S and courses to C. It just makes your entire query shorter, cleaner, and a whole lot easier for you or anyone else to read. So all this talk of students and courses is great for learning, but you're probably wondering, why does this actually matter in a real job? Let's talk about where you're going to see joins literally every single day. Just think about it. How does a company see which user placed which order? You guessed it, they join the users and orders tables. Or how do you figure out which department every employee works in? You join employees and departments. This isn't just theory, it's how businesses answer their most basic and important questions. All right, let's wrap it up with a super quick recap. Inner join, that gives you only the matching data, the perfect overlap. Left join gives you everything from the left table plus any matches from the right. And right join, it's the opposite. Everything from the right table plus matches from the left. That's the whole game. So there you have it. We've gone over what joins are, the main types you're going to use, and the rules you need to follow. You now have the fundamental tools for connecting related data. So really, the only question left is, next time you're looking at your data, which join are you going to choose to uncover the story that's just waiting to be told?